Why is
No,
calm?
he didn't.
Yes, he did, bro.
Flo would never be Shinra. What are
Okay.
you talking about? Shinra is
Like, why is he
Why
Shinra
is
is bad.
Calm just got beat on by prophecy?
Shinra is bad.
Why is
but
he
ain't
so
that
high,
bad.
bro?
Like, come on.
Wait,
He'll
hold
lose
on. I
to
don't know
Flo.
what
Flo
you're
loses
talking
in
about.
that.
Okay.
He definitely does. Flo's not
No,
good.
he
No,
don't.
we're
That's
talking
it.
about Flocky. We're talking
Yo,
about
that
Flock.
loses to me. How is he beating Flock? Nah,
Who
just
the
stop.
fuck are
Just stop,
you?
bro.
Anyways,
Just stop.
Yo,
Get him in here. Get him in here.
That
Get him in here. Get him in here.
I
Get him
think
in here.
2-0
all
by
right, I
me.
got
Get
you.
him in
Hold
here.
on. Let me invite you.
Nah, that nigga said, who the
I'm
fuck
just
are
claim that's
you?
me in 2-0.
Bro, I'm not gonna get into that, bro.
But
Oh,
look,
fuck
I
that.
don't know.
Besides the flow part,
Flo and I,
besides that, why is 6
didn't
so
even
high?
debate
Why is
about
6 so high? Why is Sensei so high? Who put
Wait, do
Kage
you not?
over me?
Yo, stop yelling. Look. Don't you see somebody trying to have a conversation about topics to which you're
You're
trying
right.
to
Why is
discuss?
vlintz so low?
Yeah,
And he
but
just continues to talk. All right, go ahead.
anyways, but what sort of Demon Slayer takes do you defend, Vince?
In particular, anything Gyu related. I think Gyu at the end of the series would be every Ashra in a 1v1.
Would be yeah. Why is Gyu stronger than Shinobu?
Stronger? I don't think he necessitates I don't think it necessitates being stronger. I just think he wins the 1v1.
Yeah, when I say stronger, I mean he wins a 1v1.
That's a weird distinction linguistically, sure, but yeah, I just think that since he has feats on Muzan, Shinobu doesn't. I think narratively and performatively, Muzan's been shown to be over the upper moons. So I think any line of consistency of feats on him just draws like better stamina, defense, and he
I'm
has
not sure why that follows. No, so like
Let me back up. I'm gonna drop.
I'm not sure why what in particular follows.
You said what, bro?
yeah, so I'm
Let me
not
back
sure
up,
why
yeah,
it
bro.
follows that having feats on Muzan suddenly entails that you have better feats than say somebody who doesn't, right? Especially if they like
I already
CG check this
gave
over
you the
and
reason.
again.
Did you not hear it?
What was the reasoning? Was it just that it
Yeah,
displays
I said
better
narratively
stamina?
and performatively.
Yeah, why does it display better performance? I'm confused.
Yeah, I think for one, since it's stated that he has his feats against Muzan were second to none. On top of the fact that he's one of the first Hashira to run into Muzan and one of the last Hashira to fight Muzan. On top of the fact that he still has stamina to fight DKT. So I just think that's a blatant stamina diff. So
Okay, so he has higher stamina because he meets Muzan first. And what else? He meets Muzan first. And
yeah, I said he's one of the first Hashiras to encounter Muzan. And at the end of the fight, he still has stamina to combat Muzan, and every other Hashira does not. And then he showcases more stamina to be able to combat DKT. He even goes as far to use an actual breathing technique, which would require more energy than just a regular sword.
So he has high stamina. Cool. Like, how does that mean he beats Shinobu? Like, aside from that, what else does he have?
Because I think performatively and narratively, I think he has the best defensive prowess. So I don't think Shinobu's going to penetrate his defenses.
That's just another question of why. No, why is his defense so high that like Shinobu can't pierce through it? Why?
I just again Muzan feats. I think being able to damage Muzan in any facet would just be a better feat than damaging Domi.
Having better feats, I'm not sure why that entails that you beat somebody else in a fight for one, but two, it's unclear why being able to defend yourself against the Muzan attacks, right? Especially Muzan attacks where we don't even know where they scale in comparison to say Doma. Right, it's unclear why specifically. Wait, hold on. It's unclear why specifically those sorts of feats entail anything about how he compares to Shinobu.
Yeah, because again, I just said narratively and performatively, Muzan's been showcased to be above the upper moons. An example is when they make the statement that Muzan is not comparable to any upper moon. On top of the fact that we have people like Guillaume who can perfectly combat Kokushibo without the necessity for all of his amps being active. When he runs into Muzan, he immediately concedes to the notion that he needs See-Through World to accurately read the pattern of its attacks. This was not the case against Kokushibo, which grants the notion that Muzan will be having faster attacks than Kokushibo.
Yeah, well, there's the one that assumes that the sorts of attacks that they're both doing work the same way. So if you're able to, so for example, whatever buffs that See-Through World gives you, and the prediction of the See-Through World gives you, maybe it could just function better for attacks like Muzan's, right, in comparison to attacks like Kokushibo's. It's unclear specifically why the reason why he needs it is due to specifically his speed, for one. And then two, doesn't he literally just is forced to activate it against Kokushibo because Kokushibo he's just too overwhelming for all of them at the same time.
Yeah, but again, I never disagreed that he's forced to activate it against Kokushibo. The distinction there was the time frame, right? He's never initially forced to do it against Kokushibo, but he's initially forced to do it against Muzan. I think that implies. I don't think that matters. I'll address that in a second. But let's address the second claim that the difference in the mechanics of the attacks would be a differential. It would put some kind of differential in the speed of the attacks. I don't think that you said that it could just be this attack is just different than the one that Kokushibo has.
Yeah, it functions differently. So like,
yeah, and I'm saying, why does the mechanics of the attack necessitate a difference in speed?
Huh? No, I never said it necessitates a difference in speed. I don't know if you're like listening to the words that come out of my mouth. But
I didn't say you said
things,
that. I'm just asking if you think this notion follows. But if you don't think that notion follows,
I don't think it follows. No.
Okay, cool. So then, what about the difference in the mechanics matters? Why does the difference in the attacks matter?
Hold on. So if the function of see-through world is to predict attacks before they happen, right, and these two attacks function entirely differently, then trivially you will need like what's it called? The sort of ways you predict them will be entirely different. So some attacks may need you to focus on hold on. Some attacks may focus on you needing to predict it far more because they come from multiple angles, whereas other attacks may not need it as much because they are more linear. Right? So again, you're trying to argue that the reason why he needs it against Muzan in comparison to Kokushibo is because of speed, right? That's baseless. But also, you said that like he wasn't forced to activate see-through against Kokushibo initially. That's also false, right? Because the entire reason why he didn't activate it was because Kokushibo was holding back, right? So he's only not forced to insofar as Kokushibo doesn't force him, right? Just by trying a little bit harder. So
let's start with the first claim. If you agree that the mechanics being different of the attacks doesn't necessitate a differential in speed, then what basis do you have for the difference in the attacks mattering towards his reaction speed? Because the mechanics of see-through world specifically is when you read the physiology of biokinesis.
Biokinesis, and what do you think the moons are? That like are just falling on people and changing in size?
Repeat that.
What do you think the moons are that are just falling on people and changing in size?
You said moons or moves?
Yes, the moons. The moons. Whenever he swings his sword, the moons come out.
Oh, I'm talking about Muzan's video, not Kokushibo.
Yeah, I'm talking about Kokushibo. That's why I said his name.
Yeah, his BDA is the moons coming out. What about it?
Yes, okay. And if the moons aren't physical objects where he can view their body and then view the sort of contractions which are taking place so that he can predict how they move, then obviously he wouldn't need see-through world because see-through world would be functionally useless. And it would only be useless insofar as predicting his body swinging rather than his moons. So obviously he would need it to know which moves are. Right.
Okay, so do we have any basis for the moons being above the speed of Kokushibo's actual combat speed in reference to?
That is entirely irrelevant to the claim that's being argued.
It is though. It is relevant because.
What do you think the claim being argued right now is?
The claim is that the see-through world doesn't apply to the moons because they're not a part of his body. Therefore,
okay. So and is that?
So hold on.
I just need a yes or no question. So is it a yes that they do not apply because they are not physical objects?
I don't think that matters. Whether the claim follows.
Is that yes or no to the question?
It doesn't matter. Whether I say yes or no. I can just.
If it doesn't matter, then answer the question.
Can you like wait a second?
Yeah. I just want my question answered.
I just said you can accept whatever answer.
Okay, so if the answer is a yes, hold on. If the answer is a yes, then see-through world is functionally useless against most of the dangerous attacks that Kokushibo does, but it's not useless against Muzan. There.
Are you done?
Wait.
Yep, now I'm done.
Okay, cool. So the counterclaim to that is that obviously if the moons are predicated upon the sword itself, then obviously the see-through world would still be taken into account. Kokushibo, yes, blatantly the sword. Wait. We see when Kokushibo swings the sword, the moons come out. So if the blood demon,
that's not true either.
So again. I'm saying that's practically how it's applied when Guillaume is reacting against it. Yes, we see him apply it in other ways, but the scenario in question is where it applies. So again, if we evaluate the blood demon art being contingent upon Kokushibo swinging the sword initially, right? We see him apply it. It's a byproduct of the sword being swung. So if the see-through world is gauging his muscle contractions, that obviously would be applied if he's swinging the sword. Correct?
Yeah, they help him predict the sword swing. They don't help him predict what's it called, the blood demon.
You didn't answer my question.
Wait, hold on. And it's just
you didn't answer my question.
Wait, hold on. And it's just shown verbatim, it's shown explicitly because the moons continue to change shape and size even after he's already swung his sword. Astronomy even notes that he doesn't need to swing his sword to activate his blood demon. Right, so
that's fine, but you didn't answer my question.
The only thing, right, he needs to focus on with see-through world, right, use Kokushiba's own model, right? And that's the only thing it's functionally useful for. Whereas against Muzan, it's functionally useful for much more, right?
Okay, are you ready to answer my question?
And what was the question?
I said, do you agree that Kokushibo swinging his sword would entail a muscle contraction?
Obviously.
Okay, cool. So there is something to precog, therefore see-through world should be taken into account.
Nobody said see-through world shouldn't be taken into account.
Hold on. That is also why I brought up the account of the moon's speed. Because if you don't have the belief that the moon's speed is above that of Kokushibo's actual combat, hold on. I'm drawing the correlation. Please be patient. So that's why I put into question your view on the speed of the actual moons, right? Because if you hold the belief, so cool. That's why I'm giving the scenario. I'm giving you a hypothetical syllogism right quick. So again, if you agree that it's the case that the moon's speed is equal to or lower than the speed of the actual sword being swung, obviously the sword being swung still takes into account the muscle contraction. So him gauging his attacks with see-through world, he would still be able to react to the moons. So I don't think the unpredictability. No. Again. I'm almost done with my sentence. Please be patient. I know impulse control is scarce these days, but work with me. So again, I just said I'm almost done.
Please finish.
Okay, cool. Right, you have somewhere to be?
No.
Okay, cool. So be patient. Cool. So if the moons coming out of his body in the sword is equal to or lower than that of his actual combat speed, and his combat speed is inherently, right, producing muscle contractions, then there is no reason to say that, well, the attack being different in predictability or mechanics or whatever the fuck, it still operates at the same speed. Okay. So its level of unpredictability does not matter if it's at the same speed, because he still has the same chance to react to it.
Hold on. So if the see-through world's purpose is predicting things, one of them is the same speed and then massively unpredictable because you can't gauge it with see-through world. And the other one, he has two aspects. One of the aspects is predictable, due to it being muscle contraction. The other one is unpredictable because the shape of his moons is constantly changing. The see-through world is less useful in comparison to somebody who only has one aspect because they only have one thing to focus on. In comparison to the other instance, he has multiple things to focus on. Hence why see-through world will be far more useful against Muzan, right? So I don't know why you did all of the talking about that. It was entirely irrelevant. But also, I don't know how the speed of his swings and also the speed of his swings and the speed of his moons and the ways in which his moons change in size. I don't know how they are linked to his own combat speed, right? And if they are far faster than his combat speed, right, then it should also add an increasing factor, right, into how it's unpredictable, right, meaning that it would make see-through world even more useless because the only thing see-through world is actually allowing him to see is functionally useless to the most dangerous aspect of the battle. Anyways, but look,
I think that's another assumption we need to address. But first of all, that's why I drew the correlation between the see-through world and then the muscle contractions. Because if you agree that Kokushibo's application of his blood demon art is to swing the sword, and then the byproduct is the moons coming out of the sword, if you don't hold the belief that the moons are any degree faster than the actual swing of the sword, then it should still have the same increment to react to it. It doesn't matter the changing of shape, size, and length, right? Because the unpredictability factor happens at the same speed. So if they can stop. This is why I'm drawing the correlation. If the moons are equal to or lesser than that of it in speed, the changing of the shape and the size does not matter because it happens in the same increment. Therefore, the same time, the same period of reactions should still be granted.
You aren't listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth, so I'm just going to repeat them again. They change shape and size after he swings. So even if they predict him as he's swinging, after he swings, they still change in shape and size. They can still move around freely. So even regardless of if they predict his swing, right, after he swings, there's still some dangerous moon floating around which is capable of killing them, right? And again, you keep adding on if you believe that it's faster or if it's its same speed as him or maybe even slower. If, but never is, right? We have no clue how his moons compare to him in speed. If his moons are blindingly faster, right, which they would need to not be for your argument to go through, if the moons are blindingly faster, then that makes his see-through world far more useless. So the narrative you're trying to build,
you haven't given a basis for that. You have yet to give a basis for the speed of
Did
which
I
the moons
say?
move
Did I?
at.
Oh my god! Did I claim that
I
they were
already heard
faster?
you say you're agnostic towards the speed of the moons. I'm telling you why that's hurting your argument. If there's no basis for which the speed is at, the speed of the moons themselves, then I think the healthiest assumption would be that it's relative or equal to
Why?
the other's
Why
combat
would
speed.
that be the healthiest assumption? Why?
Yeah, because I think it's the simplest conclusion. It requires
Why is
less
that the simplest
assumptions
conclusion?
because it's a more. It takes another assumption to gauge its speed.
Hold on. So in their two claims, one that he has. Okay, wait. Just lay out the claims and lay out both of our claims and tell me where, like, you think the one more assumption is. Just tell
Okay,
me.
so in the assumption, in the case of saying that the moons have a different set speed than that of the actual swing of the sword or anything in reference to its combat speed, right? The another assumption comes from the actual gauging of the speed, right? So the way we would
What?
do this is saying, well,
I don't know what the
if,
actual gauging of the speed means. So
so evaluating it, hitting a character or a character dodging
yeah,
it
hold
in
on. So
comparison.
there are two
So
hypotheses being
hold
affirmed.
on. You
Hold on.
asked the
So there are
question. You
two.
asked the
Wait, hold
question. Would
on.
you like an
There's no
answer?
need for the question
You
anymore.
asked the question. Would you like an
Yeah,
answer?
no. You don't need to answer
So you
anymore.
don't
But
want your question answered, but you
no,
asked it
I don't want
anyway.
to answer. But there's two
So then why did you
hypotheses
ask
being
the
affirmed.
question?
Yeah, I changed my mind. But there's two hypotheses being affirmed. Alright. One of them is the claim that his sword speed and his moon speed are the same speed. There's another one saying the sword speed and the moon speed could be different speed. I'm never making it like a firm proposition on whether or not they are the same speed or they aren't.
You
Right?
already
It
said
would
you're
need to be
agnostic towards that.
it would need to be the case that they are not the same speed for your argument to function. Right? If we are agnostic or we don't know, right, then trivially your argument just doesn't function anymore. Right?
That's not the case actually because
That just is the case.
no,
Don't
it's
worry about it.
not. It's
But
not
anyways,
because
so
again, your
trivially your
initial
claim
claim.
just doesn't even win on
Stop. Stop.
personally,
Stop.
right?
Stop. Stop.
Because
Stop.
we're
Stop.
both
Stop. Stop.
making
Stop.
equal
Stop. Stop.
amounts of
Stop. Stop.
assumptions,
Stop. Stop.
right?
Stop. My nigga.
Even
Stop.
assuming
Stop.
that I'm making
Stop, my
agree.
nigga. Stop. Your initial claim towards see-through world was
Uh-huh.
that there is one part of the attack that wouldn't be able to be gauged by see-through world, correct?
Uh-huh.
So one being gauged by see-through world, the other not being gauged by it. If they move at the same fucking speed, then it still has the viability to be perceived in the same increment. So whether it's under the radar of see-through world or not, they still have the same fucking chance to react to it.
That doesn't matter because the point you're trying to make is that the reason why he uses or like it's a narrative implication that Muzan is far superior to the other house to Kokushiba because Gyobe is forced to use see-through world, right? And if see-through world is functionally ineffective against one of these characters in comparison, like in some aspects in comparison
It's
to
not
another,
though.
right?
You said partially. I don't know why you did.
In comparison
Wait,
to another,
because why are you
right? Then, like,
generalizing and
obviously, it is the
specify
case
though?
that your argument just falls through.
But
Because
wait,
even if you can
but
predict both
stop,
of
but stop.
them,
There's an
even
issue
if
there.
you
You're
can
not being
predict both of
specific
the
though.
two, even if
You're
you
not being
can predict
specific.
both of
You're not
the
being
two,
Can
specific.
I clarify?
Previously, wait.
even
Previously, you're not
even
generalizing.
if
Wait. Stop. Because previously you specified a part of see-through world going through, and now
Yo,
you're
Sinner, stop
generalizing
spitting in
see-through
my
world as a whole.
ear.
But look, I never disagree that see-through world is effective in some extent, right? Which is obviously why it awakens there. I'm saying that trivially it's more effective against Muzan in comparison to Kokushiba. Even if it is the case that you can predict both, right? And they both move at the same speed, that doesn't suddenly mean that they both be equally effective or the same move will be equally effective. Which is the claim you're trying to make.
Again, this is the track of doom. If you agree that the see-through world is evaluating the muscle contractions of any character that it's being applied towards, we see it be applied towards Kokushibo and Muzan. So whatever attack follows after the muscle contraction, you would have to prove it has any degree of a superior speed. Because if the speed is equal to or lower than that of the muscle contraction, then they would still be in the same range of perception. So if the unpredictability factor follows of whatever attack, then it doesn't matter because it's happening at the same increment. You're not attacking that.
Okay, yeah. So it happening at the same increment doesn't matter. There's also just no evidence for them being the same speed. So it's literally just wholly irrelevant. But it also just assumes that like almost for an attack to be unpredictable, it needs to be some like massive extent faster or faster than the other person, right? If it's
That's not
constantly
the
changing
claim.
in shape and size, if you dodge it once and if you dodge in one direction, it can still come and kill you even though you think you've dodged it, right?
Okay,
Which is
so
why
let me
somebody
ask you.
has such
Let
an
me ask
issue
you.
with.
If you're faster than the
Which
attack,
is why.
but wait, let's address the first point before you shotgun though. Wait, but let's address the first point before you
Which is why Phantom
shotgun.
has such an issue.
Let's
dodging.
address the
But,
first
yeah.
point before you shotgun, buddy. If you're faster than the moon in its entirety, do you think you would get hit by it regardless of whether
Yes.
it changes? Okay, so why?
Okay, if I dodge it, then it goes past me. Then it suddenly extends backwards and hits me in the back of the neck, right? then like obviously
But why
I
are you
wouldn't
getting
be
hit
able
if you're
to.
faster than it?
Wait, because
You're
I
not
can't see
answering the
it.
question.
I can't see it. Like, hello, what's wrong with you?
Wait. Prove perception works like that in Demon Slayer. Do you think you have to look? You think you have to look at something to perceive it in Demon Slayer?
Huh? No. I don't think that. I
Okay,
think
so
it's
then
far.
the
No,
hypothetical doesn't
Wait,
follow through. Then that hypothetical doesn't follow because the hypothetical is contingent upon you not perceiving the attack. Dumb fuck.
You're confused, sir. Even if it is the case that you can perceive people, right, even when they're behind you, that's completely fine because it's obviously harder to perceive somebody who's moving behind you in comparison to why they move in front of you. Why do you think characters move behind each other in Demon Slayer? Like, what do you think? Like, what do you think they're trying to do? If like, say Tanjiro could just see Akaza as well as he could regularly, why do you think Akaza like went behind him to try and attack him? What do you think Akaza was trying to like look at his butt or something? Like, well, what do you think he was trying to do? Like, I don't get what you think is going on there.
I don't necessarily disagree with the notion that tracking
Okay,
somebody with your
so it is
hold
harder
on
to dodge.
one
Thank
second.
you.
I don't disagree with the specific notion that ocular vision would be more likely consistent than just spatial awareness, right? But I'm saying that hypothetical doesn't follow because my question was, do you think that if you were equal or above the attack in speed, or not equal, I didn't say equal, my fault. I said I think if you're in faster than the moons in its entirety, right? Would you get hit by it regardless of it changing shape and size if it is at a stagnant speed and you are faster than it? And then you said yes.
It also seems that what's it called?
Right. So you said
Yeah,
yes.
can y'all just go to conclusions? Like,
You then
Yeah,
gave
wait, hold
hypothetical
on.
contingent upon him not
Yeah,
perceiving
there's a
it.
few things. So one, it assumes that the moons are of the same type of things, which can be predicted by spatial awareness, right? Which is wholly unprovable. And then two, it also just assumes that the sort of speed you'd be able to dodge with an inferior form of perception, such as spatial awareness, right, would allow you to be able to dodge at the same speed. Even if I'm faster than something when I'm looking at it, right, and I'm sensing it using echolocation, right? Even though initially I'm faster than it, there's no evidence that I'd be as fast, right, if I'm not using the same method of perception, right? Because I need to first sense it, then move. If the form in which I'm sensing it is slower, right, then I won't be able to move in time, right? So obviously that point doesn't.
See how that doesn't work. That doesn't
You see
work.
that the point doesn't work either, right?
No,
Which is
that
also
point
why
doesn't
we,
work
which is
because
also
the
why we know
character in
that wish.
question.
We also know that
No,
that sort of action plays a
that
major
point
factor in
doesn't
battles,
work
right?
though.
Especially when a Akaza goes behind them,
God,
right?
this
The
further
entire
goon.
purpose of those sorts of moves, right, is because your perception speed or spatial awareness is so inferior to such an extent that even trained fighters think that it may prove fatal in battle. So yeah.
So again,
Y'all
do
just
you
go to
understand that the character in
conclusions.
question's primary sensory is echolocation? So that example doesn't hold up.
That just doesn't matter at all.
Are you going to explain why it doesn't matter? Or are you going to keep saying
Okay,
it?
just go
Yeah,
to
sure.
conclusions.
It wholly doesn't matter again because one, you're trying to argue specifically that these sorts of means are of the type of things which can be sensed, right, using like spatial awareness and echolocation. And two, you'd also need
No,
to just hold on.
that's
And
not the
two,
claim there.
hold on.
No,
You'd
you're
also
confused.
need to
That wasn't my claim.
give some form of
That
justification,
wasn't my
right,
claim, by the way.
specifically as to why it is as
Can we
easy to
adjust the straw
sense
man right quick before you keep
hear
starting?
attacks, right,
Can
which
we
are coming from
address the
behind
straw
you,
man before you
right,
keep starting?
which you can't justify.
Oh my God! Can we adjust the straw man before you keep speaking? Again,
What's the straw man?
my claim was never that the ability had the that had the aptitude to be spatially sensed. I just responded to your hypothetical saying that just because you get hit from behind doesn't mean you didn't perceive it. And then
I never said that.
So in your hypothetical, you never said that if it comes behind them and hits them in like the back of their neck or some bullshit, whatever bullshit you said about that shit. You didn't say something akin to that.
No. And it's worse because you yourself forgot.
So if we go back and write,
yes, but you yourself forgot the hypothetical
just to
I
be
gave.
very okay. Do you want to add a bet onto this?
Why would I bet money with you? Betting is haram.
Okay, so you're broke. Okay, cool.
Betting is haram, buddy.
It's fine. It doesn't matter. So just to be clear, do you want to bet the debate on whether you made that hypothetical or not?
I don't know what sort of low tier you think I am to like bet an entire debate on.
I think you're a dumb fuck to like the
Anyways, look, I
extremities,
don't care. You don't really think very often, but it's fine. If it is the case that the moons aren't the type of things which you can dodge using echolocation, right, then trivially allowing the thing to pass you, even if you are faster than it, right, would be detrimental because it could just extend in size and then slash you in the back. which is how
So you just so remember 5 seconds ago when you said you
and
didn't
then
say
you would
that.
also need to justify.
Remember five
And
seconds ago when you said you
you need
didn't
to
say that.
justify. And then you need to justify specifically, right? That what's it called? It is as easy to locate things which are coming from behind you, especially in the form, right, of these moons, which you can't do.
Again, so there's two problems here. 5 seconds ago, you just said you never made a hypothetical nor a claim in reference to the possibility that you could be struck from behind from the moons. Because my
No, it
question,
wasn't
stop. Because my question was, I said if you're blatantly faster than the moons in its entirety, I said, would you get hit by it based off its unpredictability factor in reference to changing in shape, size, and length? You said yes, and then the hypothetical you gave as a shitty attempt to substantiate that fuck ass claim, you said, well, yeah, it could just be traveling and then swoop behind them and hit them in the back. Did you or did you not say that?
The initial thing
Did you
you
or
accused
did you
me
not
of
say
saying,
that?
yes, did the initial
you or
thing
not?
you
Did
accused
you or
me
did you not say
I already
this?
answered the question, but the thing you accused me of was saying that they couldn't perceive it once it moved behind them, which is not what I claim.
That's not what I accuse you of. What I
I'm
accuse
sure,
you
bro.
of saying,
The sky is red.
is that
The sky is red, bro.
What I accuse you of saying is that it would still hit them even if they're faster than it. And the example you gave was them being struck from behind, and then the implication you gave was the lack of perception. I said you gave that implication. I never said you outright stated it. Please try.
Okay. Yes, bro. I gave the implication, bro. I'm
Okay,
sure.
so if you agree with
How
this
are you
implication,
even supposed
let
to
me
give
tell you
things
why
which
that
are
doesn't
physical
follow. It's
objects?
cool. So if you agree that that's the claim that you made,
Can you
right,
tell
with
me
that
how I'm
implication
supposed
baked
to give
into it,
something which
let me
isn't a
give the
physical
correlation
object?
to why that does not
No, I
follow.
just want to know
So
how am I
again,
supposed to give something which
it
isn't
does
a
not
physical
follow that.
object?
Again, it does not follow that if the attack is predicated on the sword initially, then when it's used, right, step one would be the muscle contraction. Step two would be the swinging of the sword. Step three would
Cool
be
story, bro.
Kokushibo's moons coming out of it. So if you agree that that's the process of the attack, then
Wait, is that
see-through
even
world.
true? Hold on, wait.
What?
I'm just remembering. Is that even true? Does Kokushiba, like, what's it called? When Gyumi activates see-through world, does Kokushiba even swing his sword to throw out moons at people? Is that even true? Like, is that
Yes,
even
that's
evidence for it?
exactly what. That's
Hold on.
exactly.
Wait. Give me a second. Let me go to the fire. I'm sorry. Give me a
It
second.
is. It should be 176. I'm pretty sure. It's when Kokushiba.
167.
It should be when he uses 14th form. When he uses 14th form, we see him do like a horizontal slash with all the moons coming at him, and then that's when we get the statement of the moons changing in shape, size, and length.
No, it's stated at the start, but
I guess it's just stated again.
Sonomy states it. Gosh, I haven't even read Demon Slayer. That's the worst part.
Oh, so this is just disingenuous and cool. Love when niggas waste my time.
Since when did they add childhood friend of the Zen?
Why are y'all dick eating buns for?
Everybody loves doing that.
167.
It didn't look like he was like losing in the beginning. Maybe this part he's losing because I do see Sharon's point, and I don't really think it's being contested. But the first part he was definitely
You
winning.
don't see a lot of things, do you?
Rubber face bitch. That was everybody
You
started
stole
laughing.
that
when you
phrase
said
from
that.
Infinity. You stole that phrase from
What the
Wait,
fuck
what
are
chapter?
you
Wait,
talking
what
about?
chapter did you say it was?
He like
Yeah, I don't know what y'all talking about. Cause Vert
he
been
scanned down Infinity Lingo and shit, talking about it's applied to.
He's trying to say the reason because when I brought up the fact that because my burden right now is substantiating that Muzan is performatively above that of the upper moons.
Wait,
so the core
why is he capping?
that is directly the claim I made, and then you asked why.
Impossible. What did he do to us? Hit us with an attack at this rate. He doesn't even swing. Why is he capping?
What are you talking about? I just said I'm talking about the instance where he uses 14th form. That's what I said I'm referencing.
From the beginning of the fight, or whenever he pulls out longsword, right? He doesn't even need to swing to use the moons to cut them.
I never said he did. I already said he doesn't need to. I just said
hold on.
I already said wait.
At the moment,
wait. Stop. Because I already told you that in the beginning he doesn't need to use the sword to use the moons, but he does initially. That's why I said initially when he's being dodged, it's predicated on him swinging the sword.
Cool story, bro. But so at the moment in which he activates see-through world, the thing he is entirely predicated on focusing on is his sword swings. And at that moment where he is forced to activate see-through world, his sword swings have nothing to do with his moons which are coming out. Yes? Beautiful.
No. Why?
because they are coming out without him swinging his sword.
My nigga, again, the claim is that if the moons come out of him equal to or lower than the speed of his combat speed,
Lord.
then the unpredictability factor doesn't matter. And then you
Why is that?
disagree.
Okay, even if you said that, like, maybe he was moving at a snail's pace, right?
No, I already said that.
Which vehemently isn't true since he just blitzes Gyome, right? So it's like, okay, well, if Kokushiba or if Gyome is able to react to Kokushiba, he's unable to react to the moons. That the moons are moving faster than Gyome, right? And
I've been on this for like 40 minutes, bro.
then wait, hold on. Then
if it's the case, if it's the case that he gets hit by the moons and Kokushiba, how do you determine which one is faster?
He does not get hit by Kokushiba because Kokushiba
doesn't. So Kokushiba doesn't cut him across the face.
No. I mean, well, I guess he did what's it called. You can't actually prove that it was his sword that did that, not the moons. The only times the only times he hits him is literally when Gyome is off guard, bro. Yeah.
The only time Gyome hit
This
Muzan
nigga
is
keeps talking about ducking last year, nigga. It's the big 2-5.
What do you think constitutes Muzan as being off guard?
Oh my god, it's
Gyome.
I said,
Gyome
what do you
is
think
mid-sentence.
constitutes Muzan as being off guard?
Did I say Muzan is off guard? Never mind, bro. You just didn't listen to what I said. Yeah, man. Don't conclude.
Who did you say was off guard then?
You don't conclude, bro.
Who did you say was off guard?
A character in Demon Slayer. Do you don't conclude?
What was the name of the character?
One of the characters in the Kokushiba fight. Do you don't conclude, bro?
Okay, what is the name of the character? What breathing
Figure
do they
it out,
use?
bro. Do you don't conclude?
What breathing do they use?
What breathing do they use?
Look at him
Figure it
trying to
out. Do you
run.
don't conclude?
Look at him trying to run now. Trying to run to conclusions. No, pussy.
Yeah, bro. Anyways, so is that it? Do you have like nothing else to say?
No, yeah, I have an inquiry about the difference in speed between the moons and that of Kokushiba. Because if the claim is that Kokushiba is grossly faster because he blitzed Gyome and he can't react to the moons, I'm confused on where's the correlation towards the claim of
Yeah,
the difference
well,
in speed.
it's funny because what you just said and what I just said are entirely different claims. So, do you want to conclude?
No.
Oh. Well, actually, no, sorry. I could just leave. Hold on. I forgot I could just leave. Like, hello. I don't need to be trapped here till this guy has to conclude. Look, do you have anything final to say about this conversation? Right, before I leave.
Yeah, you never substantiated the difference in speed.
Who is the character I just mentioned?
Gyome and Kokushiba and Muzan, because that's who we were talking about the entire time.
Kieran, bro.
Did I say character or characters? Who's the character specifically I just made a point about?
Gyome.
Oh,
You said he got blitzed by Kokushiba. It was Gyome because you said he got blitzed by Kokushiba.
Really?
Yeah, you did
Actually?
say that. You disagree you said that?
For real?
Do you disagree that you said
But
that?
also, doesn't Sonami not get tagged by
Do you disagree
Sonami
that
doesn't
you
get
said
tagged
that?
by
Do you disagree that you said that?
Did I disagree that I said what?
That Gyome got blitzed by Kokushiba. Do you disagree that you said
Yeah, I never said that. But
lying.
what's it called? Sonami doesn't get tagged by
Where
the
these
moons.
randoms dick eating me in comments? Please just
Sonami doesn't get tagged by the moons, but he gets tagged. Oh no, Sonami does get tagged by the moons, but he doesn't get tagged by sword. But also, more importantly,
Wait,
the
so
time
then
where we
Wait. You said Can you repeat what you just said? You said Sonami doesn't get tagged by the sword, but he gets tagged by the moons?
Gets tagged by the moons, yes.
Why is that? Do you know why that is? Do you have any reason for why that is?
Oh well, we see on panel, so
What?
check about.
He said why that is, gang. But presumably like the more like reasonable explanation to why he gets tagged by the moon and not the sword is because the moons are faster than the sword. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it isn't. Trust me.
So then what?
Look, bro, like
Are we okay?
You see when he says moon breathing, sixth form, perpetual night to moon incessant,
Why is Mercy saying your butt?
and this 17 billion moons just
Turkey
arrive.
I don't know why niggas, bro. Anybody dick eating me in the comments, you can request up to run any topic next. I don't care. I'm sorry.
Hold on, I'm going to turn on my camera really quickly. So
Mind you.
You can look here. Hold on, so you can look here, right? You see where all of these moons are like slamming into him, and you'll notice that the distance between them is actually larger than that of the sword. You see this? Oh my goodness, right? It's really crazy. You notice that, right? You can also see the moon passing by his head here. Wow. Isn't that crazy? Like, oh my goodness, look.
And this leads to
he says,
what's the
I can't
insomnia?
blink. Wait, hold on, right? And then we can scroll up further, right? Since we won't be ignorant over here, right? Like you can see where he's like, oh my god, he's using breathing, and look, the shape of his attacks that I thought I dodged aren't the same. They're distorted. I couldn't survive if my senses hadn't been honed from long experiences, right? The irregular and complex array of blades spring out from unleashing a single attack. Their length and size always change, so they don't have fixed forms. Right. So obviously, even if you can see that they sense it from behind, right, their sense what's it called? They would have thought they dodged there, right?
Can you
And
show
then
the moon ever
correct.
coming from behind them?
What you say?
Can you show the moon ever coming from behind them?
Is moon ever coming from behind?
Yeah, can you show that?
Did you not? Oh
Can
my
you show
god!
that?
The big track, bro. The big track. Hold on. Give me a second. Wait, no. He just says it.
You can tell that it's coming behind him.
Look at this moon oddly floating from behind his head. What do you think he's doing? Do you think
There's no
the
motion
moon is?
line. There's no motion line. So how do we know it didn't horizontally attack him?
The moon is just sitting there doing
Yeah,
nothing.
how do we know it didn't horizontally come at him? How do we know it didn't come from his left or his right?
Well, you could have just looked at the panel properly when I showed you it. But
And how do you look at the panel properly? Can you demonstrate that?
how do you look at the panel properly?
Yeah, come on, Mr. Shinra. How do you demonstrate looking at a panel properly?
How do I? Are you like trolling?
No, I genuinely want to know. I just said if there's no motion lines, how do you determine the direction it's coming from?
Okay. Well, you'll notice, right, how he's saying that it's changing in shape and size, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the attack he thought. Wait, hold on. The attack he thought he dodged, right? So you agree the attacks originate from his body. He doesn't like spawn them on people, right?
Obviously, it doesn't spawn them on people.
So
But it doesn't
if
necessitate that it
it's
comes from
wait,
the-
hold on.
But
So
it
if
doesn't
it's
stop.
behind
I wasn't
him-
done answering your question. Yeah, I agree. They don't spawn on him, but they don't necessarily come out of his body. They come out of his sword and his body.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. And you can see his arms over here. So like, unless you think he has infinite reach, like what's called Inosuke, but so if the moons are over here, that means they need to have traveled.
Can you be specific?
from
What
his
direction
body.
is over here?
Okay, you see where my mouse is? If the moon is over here, right, then they need to have come from here, his body, right, or his sword, and then gone there, right? And now if he's saying that the attacks he thought he dodged, unless you think he missed on purpose, then Sonami would have had to dodge it, right? Then they are changing in length and size, so these moons would also, even the ones he's dodged here, are also changing in length and size, meaning that even this one, right, you see where my mouse is, even this one would be coming from behind them.
Why does that necessitate it comes behind him? All the statement. Stop, because all the statement entails is that it's changing in size, shape, and length. It can come from below him or in front of him and still have the property of.
Sonami doesn't jump once in that entire exchange, so it couldn't have come from below.
I'm not talking about that exchange. I'm talking about the fight in its entirety. I'm saying
Yeah,
that,
well, when he makes the statement,
I'm
Sonami
saying
had to
that.
dodge
So
one.
again, I know you have a spurging issue, but please relax. It doesn't matter the direction at which it comes from, right?
Okay.
It would still have the property of changing size, length, and shape. Correct?
That's okay. Did you like not read the second part of the
Are you going
statement?
to answer the question?
Yes, but did you not read the second part?
Okay, so just to be clear again, you agree that no matter the direction, it would still have the function of changing size, shape, and length, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if it's coming from below him, above him, from his right or from his left, it would still behave in such a manner, right?
Okay.
Okay, so if it's coming from either of those directions, it could still tag him like that, correct?
Cool.
Okay, so then why does the statement necessitate that it's coming from behind him, dumb fuck?
Oh, I already explained that.
No, you didn't. You just repeated the statement.
Do you want to move on, bro? Sure. Sorry, I'll
You
repeat it again for
literally
you.
just repeated
If he dodges it, we see it go behind him, then we see him state that it changes shape.
That is what's in
Once he thinks-
question. Question beg of death.
Hold on. What is in question exactly? That he
It
dodges
coming
it?
from behind him.
I showed you it on panel. Hold on.
My nigga, I just said there's no motion lines. How do we know that it is coming from behind him?
I just did a whole explanation on this. Okay, we'll go
All you
back
did was
again. Can
repeat
someone
the
make me
statement.
big again, please?
What?
Look, okay. So you see this blade here, right? Like, okay, you see this here, you see where my mouse is.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, how do you think it ended up there? Let's just do some Q&A. How do you think it ended up there?
Obviously, it traveled.
Okay, now do you think Kokushiba A missed him on purpose, or B he dodged it?
Obviously, he dodged it, but I don't think there's any indicator of what direction the moon is coming from. Can you give the indication?
So hold on. So it goes from his body forward, right? And Sonami is in front of him. So it is going forward, right?
Technically, yeah. I think it could be coming from his front, but from the side, right? So like,
What does that even mean? Like, because they're both looking at each other. I don't know what you mean. Like, you come from behind.
Have you never played frisbee a day in your life?
No, bro. I don't think the average person goes about playing frisbee now.
Well, you probably don't go outside at all. But obviously,
sure.
when a projectile is approaching you, it could be coming towards you. It's still going towards you, but it could be coming from the left or the right. Look up literally anybody. Look up a clip of anybody playing frisbee, and you'll understand what I'm saying.
That's like completely fine, but you know the issue there is that he actually intends to kill him with it, right? So usually the sort of like places he's going to target are vital points, right? So it's like if he's going for his vital.
How do we know he's doing that right here? Because the only statement, sorry, sir.
Kokushiba is fighting.
We have one statement of him targeting vitals, and that's against Boichiro. How do we know he's doing that at that?
He doesn't need to be. Wait, hold on. I never said he needs to be targeting
I'm asking you, how do we know this intent applies at this specific exchange?
I didn't say. Okay, look, I'm just going to repeat it to you again. Yes or no? Is yes or no?
Who the fuck you think you is, Mud? Who the hell is you, bro?
Okay.
Is he talking to me?
No, I'm talking to this off-brand sunless ass wannabe.
Okay, bro. Wait, hold on. Do you read Shadow Slave?
Yeah, I read Shadow Slave, nigga.
Okay, bet. Who is Jet? Who is Jet? Go on.
Who, Jet? The nigga who basically
This is like
find out.
Yeah.
Trying to lie now. Hold on. Just the nigga that knows if you're lying or not, nigga.
That does what? No. That isn't Jet. That's Kai, bro. That's Kai.
Oh, that's Kai. You're right. That's Kai. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. By the way, Makai. Wait. Hold on. Other sunless. Hold on. Makai, you're not fucking tracking. Yo, Shinra. Did I ever once tell you that the moon was just still? Did I ever say that?
You said it has no motion line, so you don't know where it came from.
Right. But did I say it was ever still though?
Well, no, but
thank you. So Makai, get off my dick when you're not tracking.
It is just.
Why is Fear the Urtuk's name straight?
Well, we know it's not coming from his body at that point in time because his kimono's not ripped though. But
okay, well, so it's either coming from his body or the sword, and if it's coming from the sword, then it needs to be going from the sword to Sanemi. If he is in front of Sanemi, then the sword is likely going to Sanemi, right? Towards him, so it's going forward, right? It can be coming from any direction forward, but it's going forward. Then we see it end up behind him, meaning that Sanemi likely dodged it, correct?
Yeah, he dodged it, but I'm saying, why does it come from behind him? How do we know it didn't circle?
Okay, maybe I was like, say this again. It doesn't come from behind him in the sense that it spawns behind him. It comes from behind him in the sense that
no, that's not the intent I'm making either.
Past him. It goes past him, yes?
Yeah, it could go past him.
If it goes past him, he thinks he's dodged it. Then it changes shape to try and behead him, or kill him.
That's why.
Then it's still attacking from behind him.
But my nigga, do you understand? It can go past him sideways, right? Like
that's wholly irrelevant. Do you want to conclude?
What?
Don't conclude.
Who the fuck are we concluding to?
No, literally no clue.
I mean, you can leave like you said you were done, and we could just call it a day. But like, I don't know.
Someone send me the recording. I'll upload that. Like,
but mind you,
yeah, well,
you just want to be clear. I mean, if you want to just conclude for the recording, we can. But
no, there's no point. Anyways, but
so
there's
why do you want the recording then?
Because I like listening to myself speak. But also, don't make pretty please don't make the fiction recording public. Try and break away from my name as a fiction today, bro. Please, thank you.
That's always the same with these Discord niggas caring about their rap.
I'll probably send in a Zen in Discord.
Since the repressed homosexual who's broken also ducking me isn't alive, get your bitch ass up here, Vert. Let's run that inverse. Who are you?
Not Craig. Are you Craig?
What? What name do you go by? Okay, so you're gonna pick up Black Clipper Inverse on account for Vert. Okay, can you so just to verify you actually know about this series, so I don't waste my time with a disingenuous debate. Can you name me 5 characters as in Asta, any Wizard King, Black Bull, Captain, or Devil? She's a captain. So the fact that you're asking this question gives me the impression you don't know what you're talking about. Therefore, I'm not going to engage in a bad faith debate. It's wasting my time. I said what I said.
Is the debate over?
It's not
Yeah,
running.
Is
Shinra slam him or no?
No.
Why's that the first question?
Ain't you the same nigga that's fucking fat and don't got a job? Like, hold up. Show me like $10,000.
Never proving either
Show me
of those
$10,000
things.
real quick.
Isn't
Man,
unbiased or safe?